Right, we are live with another Quick Tip Tuesday, each and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So today's topic is FHA versus conventional loan. What is the best loan for you? Of course, there isn't a one-size-fits-all. It just depends on your specific scenario. So I'm going to run through some scenarios to see, and then, of course, you can reach out for a free consultation. Number one, depending if you're getting a multi or single family home. Typically, multi-family homes, FHA is the best route, depending on your funds. If you have lower assets, you want to buy with the lowest money down and live in the property, FHA is definitely the route to go. Conventional has a higher down payment when it comes to multi-family homes, usually about 15%. It can go lower depending on like your credit score and debt to income ratio, but there's a tougher to qualify for those lower down payments. FHA is 3.5% down, no matter if it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4 family home. That's number one. So let's say we're both going for a single family home. Number one is credit. How's your credit? So the minimum down payment, the minimum credit score for FHA is actually 580. I believe you can go lower depending on some scenarios, but let's go with 580. And let's take over there. So if you have a lower credit score, close to 580, definitely go with FHA. You probably won't get approved for conventional. Conventional is somewhere around 640, 660, depending on like some different criteria. So if you have a lower credit score, definitely FHA route. Another one, if you have collections, if you have a higher credit score, 660, 680, but you have collections in your credit report, conventional, you won't really get approved, but FHA is more lenient on that. So you actually be able to get a loan with collections on your credit report. So that's something to keep in mind. When it comes down to assets, of course, a little bit lower down payment. FHA has a 3.5% down. Conventional is either 5% for most of the loans, and they do go as low as 3%. But you would have to qualify for that. So you would have to, one of the main things is you have to take a course, first time homebuyers course, as well as believe it's 80% of the median income in the area you're buying. So if the city you're buying, you have to be in the 80% of the median income. So typically, depending on the area, you won't really qualify for the home if you have that lower income bracket. So it depends on which area you are, but just keep in mind if you want to go for that 3% route for conventional, you have to meet certain criteria to qualify for that lower down payment. So let's see, what else are the main differences? So for rates, typically FHA rates are better than conventional. Usually get a lower rate, but there's something called mortgage insurance with FHA. So for both loans, if you're putting less than 20% down, you would have to pay mortgage insurance. So for FHA, there's something called upfront and then the monthly. So for the upfront, you can either pay it at closing, I believe it's 1.7 of the loan, and or you can add it to the mortgage. So you get a little bit higher mortgage instead of coming out of pocket. You're basically financing the loan. And then you have it's a set amount for mortgage insurance monthly wise for all borrowers. Doesn't matter your credit score, doesn't matter your debt to income ratio. It's set in stone for all. And that's for the lifetime of the loan. For conventional, there's no upfront. There is a monthly one. So that can vary. It's not set in stone for all borrowers. Depends on your credit score, how much money you're putting down, your debt to income ratio. So there's a lot of things come into play, and there's a calculation to see what the monthly mortgage insurance can be. So if you have a better credit score, low DTI, which is debt to income ratio, you would have a lower monthly mortgage insurance. Which do you prefer for your, let me take a pause there. It's our question. Which do you prefer for your investment properties? If you're going for a multifamily primary residence, FHA, 100%. Lower down payment, more lenient on the credit. You can maximize your DTI, qualify for more. So that's definitely big. So back to mortgage insurance. So conventional, will vary depending on your debt to income ratio and other factors. So there's nothing set in stone for that. And it's not, usually they have it for a certain amount of years, and then it may change, and then it can drop off. So it can drop off. It's not stuck with the loan. For FHA, you basically have to refinance to remove mortgage insurance completely. So something to keep in mind. Let's see. So there's a lot of differences, but I want to touch on some good ones. Another one is if you're buying a renovated home. So for FHA, you need some type of seasoning. You need the previous owner to own it for at least 6 months, and then you can buy it. For conventional, you really don't need that seasoning. You can basically buy a month after, as long as the tax records have everything it's in place, because no title company would insure if they don't have a new owner on record. DTI is a big difference between both. You would qualify more for an FHA loan because their percentage of the debt to income ratio are a little bit higher, more aggressive. So depends on your income and the taxes. Could be 50K, could be 75K, around that ballpark. Could be 100K depending on your area and the percentage. But just to give you a better understanding, it's 46% for your front ratio, which is basically your income and the mortgage payment. Your entire PITI, which is your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. That whole payment can be 46% of your gross, if you're W-2, gross income before you paying taxes on your W-2 income. If it's your 1099, of course, it would be your profit, your AGI, I believe it's called. For conventional, the front ratio is 42%, so you're basically losing 4% right there on the mortgage. So you can qualify for a higher amount on the FHA side. The back end ratio, they're a little more lenient. That basically is your entire debt, including the mortgage. Back end ratio is 56%, which basically means you can have about 10% of debt and still qualify for the same amount. If you have more, then your amount will decrease. So you have to fit both criteria. For conventional, it's 49% for your mortgage and all of your debts. So, of course, FHA, a little more lenient, you'll qualify for more. Let's see what else. We spoke about mortgage insurance. We spoke about the credit. So yeah, what would be the best loan for you? So I typically like to outweigh both. So for conventional, it's a higher rate. Let's go for single family home. Of course, if it's multifamily, FHA, I prefer FHA depending on the down payment. If you have more assets, we can explore conventional. So what would be the best loan for you? So I actually recently did a recent scenario for a buyer. They were trying to see a single family home to see if they go FHA or conventional. They had decent credit. The FHA rate was probably 0.5% to 0.75% better, I believe. But the mortgage insurance, no, it was 0.5% better, but the mortgage insurance was lower. So they were pretty much paying the same amount. So when you're buying a house, you have to see the full picture. Okay, you're getting a better rate over here, but what is the total payment? Because the mortgage insurance is included in that total payment. So it was better off for them to go the conventional route because of that. So definitely work with someone that will do that extra step for you, because not many folks may do that, unfortunately. Always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Basically, to wrap it up, make sure you go through both scenarios. Make sure you ask the proper questions. If you want a free consultation, please let me know. Hope you get a better understanding of this. And if you have any topics for next week, please let me know. Shoot me a message. And if you're going multifamily, which should be your first home, go FHA. depending on your assets. If you have strong assets, good income, not maximizing your budget, then you can definitely go conventional. Have a good one.